So like single player content and clan and raid bosses tells me that like they were trying to do something with their long-term metagame and retention because they're having problems. Like that's usually the feature that you try to kind of, like if you look back at what happened with Clash of Clans, once they added like social features on it, like it skyrockets the game. So, and it's the usual kind of duct tape solution that everybody tries to do when they're trying to prolong their metagame. Even we were trying it at Triplight.
This is no bullshit gaming podcast, 2.5 Gamers. Sharing actionable insights, dropping knowledge from our day-to-day user acquisition, game design, and ad monetization jobs. We are definitely not discussing the latest industry news, but having so much fun. Let's not forget this is a 4 a.m. conference discussion vibe, so let's not take it too seriously.
Hello. Welcome, everybody. This is session number 90, and we're actually two gamers. Our half gamer is not joining today, so it's actually quite good. So welcome. My name is Matej Lancaric.
And my name is Jakub Remia.
And we are your hosts today. You're also your consultants because we work on the consultancy side and helping games grow from the game design and UA perspective. And today we are actually talking about a game again, but not just a game. It's a Clash Mini by Supercell, and I'm actually quite excited because this feels like a very proper soft launch. The game is in soft launch for how long? 2 years?
Oh no,
Ish?
more.
And even more, right? And not like so nobody's talking about it. It's always like, oh well, here's Flood Rush closed beta killed. Here is Squad Busters closed beta. Okay, not killed yet.
It's actually the last survivor of that famous 1st April 3 games.
First April joke.
That was April 2021. So
2021.
That's how old it is.
Yeah. So I think the only one who keeps this on his radar was what Javier Barnes.
Yeah. Thanks, Javier. By the way, I pretty much went through a rabbit hole on like his excellent articles. So like great recap for those of us that didn't really play through all these years.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even know it's actually playable because we usually have these problems with getting the builds to be able to play them, and this one was quite easy. Just loaded in on BlueStacks, and here you go.
Yeah, easy.
It's great.
Easy.
Yeah, easy peasy. No obstacles. It's okay. So we have UA and game design. There are ads from what you said, but I didn't see any ads actually.
There's one ad placement with.
Yeah, but I didn't see that ad placement.
Really?
Yeah, no, I didn't see it. But I'm like, you're playing it on BlueStacks on PC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too. I didn't see. I didn't see the fucking.
Interesting.
Well, if you have it on your build, that would be great because I don't have it anywhere. I
don't have it loaded currently, but I watched it today. Like there's pretty much like one usual watch an ad, get some soft currency in the shop, like the usual thing, like the conservative of the most conservative placements.
So, but still, it is a placement.
Yeah, it
right?
is.
So
there.
It was for gold, right?
Yeah,
I think
gold soft currency.
Okay,
nothing else.
So, yep, that didn't happen for me, which is good. So there you go. All right, let's actually start, so I can then showcase like few creatives because yes, it's true they are running some UA. It's not very, heavy UA, but definitely is UA, which is surprising for Supercell. Last time we talked about UA, it was for Flood Rush, and I think it was just one or two videos.
I would start it a little bit again with the history lesson.
Yes, please.
Go UA, and then we can go product.
Okay. Good.
So for everybody kind of listening, why the fuck are we even talking about this thing and like what it is about? It's all about this thing called auto chess that some of you may remember, but mostly
it's not the trend anymore, right?
It's not the trend. So this whole thing happened in 2019, before Corona. The fabled episode of human history that next is anymore. So in January 2019, that was a Dota mode, which is like, the,
You know what I'm gonna do? You talk and I'm gonna play. Actually,
oh, okay, that could also happen. So yeah, there was this Dota mode called Auto Chess, which pretty much created this genre single-handedly, as many genres were created within the Warcraft, Battle.net, or Dota ecosystem, so it's kind of normal. And within that mode, it was quite complex because it was PC as it was created in Dota, and it was all based around the mechanic that you have these characters that you place on the board, and then they fight against each other in this automative manner, and all the strategy, all the decisions happen before and during the matches of these, with the placements, with the synergies between the units, even denying opponents picks, like shared pool and stuff around that. And everybody pretty much started jumping on that bandwagon, and everybody was like competing with each other to release this as fast as possible, because everybody remembered what happened last time with Battle Royale, where pretty much didn't matter that you were PUBG, Fortnite took your lunch anyway. So everybody was trying to take everybody's lunch. The problem is that there was no lunch to begin with, because they were just expecting that at some point there will be this giant lunch. So yeah, there's some notable dates that happened. Is June 2019, which means in 6 months there was already Teamfight Tactics on PC version living in League of Legends client, which is the most successful version to date. And then there's few of the releases, such as from Hearthstone implemented the auto battle mode in November 2019. There's an Ubisoft game. There's a Valve Dota Underlords game.
Ubisoft game.
Yeah.
What?
Ubisoft releases Might and Magic Chess Royale. There's like even Tencent releases Chess Rush on mobile. There's that's like Auto Chess Origins. Like there were literally like many of these kind of follow-ups that everybody was chasing. But then the whole thing pretty much ends with March 2020, where Teamfight Tactics gets a release on mobile, and that pretty much is the game here, because June 2019 it was the PC version, March 2020 it was the mobile version. Currently, if you look at the game's performance, there are pretty much 5 apps under this kind of one game. And for last 12 months, the Western version of these apps did $24 million in revenue. But last 12 months, the Chinese version of this app did 240 million of revenue. So that's the thing we are talking here, because if we round it all together and look at the overall revenue of that thing, like lifetime, because the Chinese version launched, what was it, August 2021, it already made more than $500 million in revenue in China. So this is that thing that everybody's chasing, but it's still kind of mice nuts compared to something like Battle Royale or something.
This is a different podcast, Jakub. This is a very different podcast.
So it's very small, let's say, a niche market. Even though it's giant, it's kind of similar to like Pokemon Go, where there's just one giant game within the genre. Everybody else tried to copy it, but nobody succeeded. So this is the thing that I guess Supercell had on its mind and trying to kind of get into. There are speculations that they could be just trying to prep the game for China release and don't really care about the West.
Really? I mean,
because it would make sense in a way that
this is the game which is developed in Shanghai studio.
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
it is.
Okay. Then, I mean, that would make sense,
because you see that like the same game is making literally 10 times more revenue in China than in the West. So yeah, that's how it works. And like it's very, very kind of common that competitive games just fare much better in Asia than in the West. Like all the MOBAs just live like in Asia, not in the West. So that's there. And then this brings us to that famous 1st April 2021, which is the announcement of Clash Mini, which was during that like whole 3 Clash games announced on 1st April that everybody thought was a joke.
Didn't this event just started like today?
Yes, it is.
It's like 6,000. Yep. What?
Yeah, people are
crazy. I have 40.
People are crazy. It's normal. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, which brings us there, and I think you can go with your UI stuff because I have so much stuff to talk about regarding the changes.
So much stuff. Yes.
within the
Okay.
game.
Okay. Then let me just change to the different window.
Why are you attending Games from Barcelona 2024?
Share insights and knowledge.
Have all gaming experts in one place.
Networking, great lectures.
Meet new people to learn more about the industry.
Games Forum is one of the best places to get mobile marketing insights.
See all the conferences and panels.
Staying up to date with the markets.
I'm gonna meet their amazing people, the experts in their field.
Insights and networking.
Register now and join 500 UA, product and Apple managers at Games from Barcelona, February 7th and 8th.
Yeah, the game has been in soft launch from Clash Mini from November 2021. So it means it pretty much is there for 2 years now.
Yeah. So if we go and check like all time is here. So we're looking at the Sensor Tower data, which is what, like November 2021. Is this correct? I mean, they released it in. Oh no, they announced it in.
No, they announced it in April, but soft launch it got soft launch only in that November. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we see the peak, and it kind of got like 4,700,000 downloads already, and then like almost 2 million revenue, which could be easily from the data that we got from our last podcast when we talked about BlockGem 3D, and some of the guys from Voodoo just shared a few things, which is great. Thank you very much, guys, for doing that. So we're looking at let's look at first downloads and like what's interesting. So we have this huge spike, obviously, in Canada. I mean, they
those are literally developers trying to check out the new Supercell game.
Yeah, but I mean, like, there's definitely not 2 million developers in Canada.
Those are influencers and the usuals, like there's.
I think these are just players. That I mean, Clash of Clans, like Supercell fans, basically.
Yeah.
Right? So they released it in Canada, Finland, Sweden, Norway, and like some other countries, but not like huge spike was in Canada. Then it died almost to like 2,000 players a day. Then they released it in Chile. So all these like small bumps, those are like new builds basically. And here as well, and then in here they released a new version in July this year and opened up UK. So what is interesting is like every time they released a new build, they opened up like more countries. So why would you do this? So, you see how this kind of maybe not quickly, but it kind of dies off. And, this, again, like I said, it's more closer to the traditional soft launch that other companies do, which is you have a game in a limited amount of geos and you run UA. And obviously it gets expensive. So and if you are in soft launch for 2 years, I can imagine this is absolutely expensive. But so that's why you kind of like open up new countries, because then you are going from the ground zero basically, and the CPI is not as high, and you are kind of like getting, let's call it, the golden cohort from each country in the soft launch. And also this is a PvP game, right? So I guess you also need concurrent users as well and liquidity. Or is it? You mean it's async?
There could be possibly bots, of course, but Supercell is known for their, very good synchronous PvP, and I would guess synchronous.
I mean, it's still like if you're getting 2K or 700 users per day, now it's kind of a little bit more, like 2.5K a day. I'm not sure if that's enough, to be honest, to maintain like certain amount of DAUs. But anyway, this is basically it in terms of the downloads. So it's
pretty steady if you check the player base. Like just drop down the downloads tab on the left and put their active users.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I mean, it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this game is very good retention.
Yeah.
Which we could potentially see.
Is that right
here?
In the same tab? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Oh, it's up there. Okay, perfect. Okay. So day 94%. Day one 66%.
I think it's kind of little bit spiced as usual.
This is so we are using the happiness multiplier on the day one, which I think it's not, but it's still like closer to 40 or 50, I would say. And also we need to remember, like, I think this is also taking into consideration all the fanboys from Supercell, which obviously will play every game. But I mean, also quite decent. So even if the day 7 is 31, I would say it will like closer to 20, 25 maybe. But it's interesting. It's better on Google Play, the retention than on iOS. But still, okay, the long term is not that. I mean, almost the same. So it's like 4% and 3.5%. Not bad. Not bad at all. So that's that from the kind of like data points. Let's get back to like revenues basically, which is where it's here. No, oh my god, Jesus Christ. Okay, fuck it. Let's go to actually creatives and the UA channels, because it's not.
It's not really important regarding revenue, to be honest, in a Softlaunch game.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, like, if your game makes 2 million or maybe 3 or 4 in Softlaunch, that's not very common. That's what I wanted to say.
Also, a big difference is if it makes 2 million in 2 years or 2 months.
Correct. But then I wanted to showcase that, like, after the latest release, kind of like the revenue went up significantly. And
then we'll talk about that why in short.
Yeah, we can talk about why exactly.
Short moment.
So I think, let's talk about the last 30 days. And when I was checking it last week, basically there were like no Facebook kind of impressions and anything, and now like we see only Google. But I was looking into this, and yes, so they have Facebook and Google. That's it. So thank you very much for listening.
UA part is over.
Yeah, my part is over. But no, let's talk about the creatives, because again we will just get fucked. So it's like
actually it's pretty funny.
This one was this is great.
We're looking, for those listening, we're looking just at like the basic core gameplay. Nothing's fake. It's the usual. It's kind of a little bit like comically laden, comically done.
This one, I think this is the best creative they have, to be honest, because everything else is really like CGI 3D bullshit. This is what I don't.
Okay.
The cinematic, I don't really understand this, like all the Supercell kind of branding. On the other hand, I kind of understand, because you're Supercell and you're already like an IP.
Yeah, keep in mind the Clash universe is kind of IP in a way that you have, Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, all these other Clash games that we are looking at the last survivor of.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, the game. Look, so the game has, I would say, I mean, it's super polished, yes, but it's still like a little bit of like, low poly-ish kind of thing, like the shapes of the characters and heroes and units is like, it's not like what I would say like Clash Royale. It's very different, and this is more like closer to, I would say, the Hunt Royale maybe. From Boombit, which is also like kind of like
you mean like something more hyper casual-ish, hybridish?
Yes,
but I think this is just a coincidence, because it's supposed to look like a toy store. Like
really,
because there's toy machines in it. Like they literally.
I know it's toy. Yes,
like
yes,
it's kind of similar to Warcraft Rumble, actually, because there's the same principle behind this. That like you're playing these things on the board as like chess pieces. So the toy vibe, that there's literally like shelves that you fill with like figurines and stuff in the game.
True. Yes, but that's like I don't really get the whole vibe, like here as well.
Like the barbarian cutting out of the toy pack.
Yes, and also like but that would be actually quite a good hook. But then like there's a Supercell logo. Obviously, that's also a good hook, but you can also get rid of it, by the way, and you don't need to use it everywhere, for fuck's sakes. because it's still like 3 seconds of your
Supercell
creative.
is very heavy on their branding stuff. Like,
I know.
keep in mind that they don't really work on traditional UA model. They just like have these giant
But they have to.
influencers.
They have to. They have to at some point.
Yeah.
At some point in the future, they just have to, because I mean, I can imagine like with these creatives, they have even if they're Supercell, yes, and they have maybe shit tons of organic, yes,
Like
I
Ilka
guess.
said, 90%.
Yes, yes, but then those 10% kind of in this context won't cut it. I mean, you need UA, and I'm pretty sure they know it. So if you need UA, you need to take advantage of everything you can.
Call
Yeah, basically, call me. It's fine. You can definitely do that. And this is quite nice, because again, like this actually showcases on this is terrible now. It's
like
starting
dropping
quite
figurines on the board.
Yeah,
CGI.
dropping figurines on the board. And this, I mean, why would you use this when you have way better? And I think like this is quite old. No, this is recent. Okay. So we're looking into these different creatives, and we already see this. Seen this, the Clash of Clans or the universe. And let's see, let's look at this as well.
Again, Toy Store.
Okay. Yeah, the Toy Store. Yeah. No, so I wanted to say, like, okay, so you could do way more with the board and how the game looks like, and showcase
you
different
would want
scenarios.
to do like typical Survivor IO stuff, like Barbarian King destroying hundreds of zombies. That thing.
Man, that would be amazing. Yeah, I would do that. But I not in this. That. Yeah, sure, but I wouldn't do it in this situation, because it's Softlaunch and you need to measure the KPI. So I would definitely avoid any fake ads in this stage. Yes. Fake, not fakeish. You could do altered gameplay. I'm trying to get there, because what you can do here is like what they did in this creative, right? In this amazing, like funny type of thing, right?
But nothing's altered, and it's just like comical vibe added into it.
Yes, the comical vibe and the humor can be quite good. Remember what we had with the Toad in Battle Legion? That's the thing that you want to like use here. This is quite funny, and I love it. And I'm very sure like players of this game are very similar audience than we are, and I would definitely need to use more humor based creatives if I want to just stay very close to the actual gameplay. And you have the board, so you can create different scenarios on the board. It can be funny, it can be just over OP as shit, because like the Toad we had, and it can be like also the mass battles in here as well. You can just fill the full board and just see the chaos and the battles and everything in there.
Here we are. That's it. Survivor IO creatives.
It's not Survivor IO. It's not Survivor. It's not. It's just like you use more units than you can in like real life, obviously. It's just test it out. Why not? There's zero UGC elements which can be in this one actually, because it's close to the gameplay. And it's not fake, so it can be. Obviously, they won't use AI UGC, right? So don't worry. that's definitely not happening. But there's so many more things that they can try. And I was thinking actually about like writing like few creative briefs. So I will put it in the show notes. So if you guys Supercell listening, definitely go and check it out. And then I wanted to show you different tools, not only the Sensor Tower, because I was looking into Sensor Tower and I didn't see basically anything. And it's like, well, it didn't see anything on the Google Play. And when I was checking the creatives, I saw basically both iTunes, App Store, and Google Play Store buttons in the creative, so they wouldn't use it if it wasn't live. So I immediately went to the Google Ads Transparency Center, and I had to obviously go to this one and search by advertiser. So it's Supercell, so it's all their games. They're kind of running on Google, and I was looking into the list, and the Clash Mini was on the second position. Now it's not even here. So, okay. Thank you, Google. Here's Clash Mini. There's Clash Mini, and I think we didn't see this. Yeah, we saw this.
So it's oh really? That was interesting hook. Some kind.
It's not hook. That's yeah. I mean,
Oh.
we saw it.
Okay.
We saw it. We saw it on the sensor tower.
So there's combination of cinematics with gameplay.
Yeah, I mean that like 1 second of gameplay.
Yes, 1 second of gameplay, literally.
Yes. No.
Okay.
Not as great, but then I went here, and so I mentioned this in our last podcast when we were talking about not last podcast, but the podcast when we were talking about the creative kind of research and things. And I mentioned you could see the spend on Facebook thanks to the different laws in Europe. And I'm using AdScan, and I mentioned it in the newsletter, and then immediately got a response from our friends from Spy Games. Hey, it's like, is this like a paid or sponsored mention? I was like, no, actually, I actually used this tool just to check spend on which creative, and we could, and it just remember this is only Europe, and they're running, and well, they're running also in Canada, Australia, and other countries. So we can check, there's, you see, no US spent, EU spent, no EU spent, amazing. Nothing is in EU. Oh, what's happening? Something went wrong. Thank you, Facebook. Okay. I love it. But yeah, I mean, in Europe, you can see 80, 160. So it's like they're not spending that much money, to be honest. At least on Facebook, it seems like they are not, because maybe that's why I can't see any impressions on Sensor Tower yet, because it's just super small.
Okay.
Let's
but
see.
Isn't this like kind of to be expected with their kind of stealthy approach to soft launch, I would say?
But I mean, look. Oh, look. This is quite different. I mean, what I think they have is just like 1 or 2 different videos, and now they make a lot of cuts out of it, which is, I mean, quite clever and efficient. Now they have also gameplay in here, so it's quite nice. But then we have this. Oh yeah, it's the same thing. Okay, so I guess it's 3 videos, and that's it.
Okay.
Which is not enough.
Not enough.
Definitely not
concepts,
enough.
Yep.
Yes.
As usual.
And as usual, yeah. So I would maybe say that, it's December, so they launched this new update. I mean, it's expensive, so I would say maybe they are waiting to January to like bigger push, because what can you even measure with like 2,000? I mean, if you're Supercell, what can you even measure? Obviously, if you're a smaller company, you can measure a lot of things with 2,000 players. So
suddenly,
I'm taking that.
It's easy.
Yeah, it's easy. For Supercell, most probably not enough. So I would expect this kind of like a new or bigger push in January. Maybe there will be release again, like at the end of the year or beginning of January, just like to balance things. I know you mentioned like there is a like rage on Reddit about like one special unit that is OP as fuck.
Already Pink Fury, it was already nerfed.
So they need to nerf some things and like balance shit. And then I would say like they most probably will need to add more UA channels into the mix. And when I looked into the whole kind of all time long UA, they also ran like Unity as well, and some other UA channels. So I think like they would need to add these in January as well, just to get more
for soft
spend.
launch or for scaling?
Yeah, for soft launch,
even for soft launch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
my guess is that they will wait out the holiday season and then do some kind of a bigger push and see the metrics and like get the numbers from like the new updated. That's why we're talking about, because by the way, they did a giant update. And that's pretty much it. It's either global or die.
Yeah, and I can already say like in January last year they did the bigger push as well, and then they used Unity. So I would say like I would expect Unity to come back into the mix as well. I see Iron Source at the same time as well, but only like free creatives, and it was a very small, bigger push, but only lasted for like 12 days.
Okay.
so that's what I would expect here as well. And I see TikTok, yes, guys, yes, please. This is definitely a good game for TikTok.
Okay.
Wait. I will show this.
More TikTok stuff.
Yes, actually, that's maybe some interesting stuff from the past.
Okay, there's a
I
hand click.
That's a good. That
nice
would be a
book.
good hook.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, why not use this? Most probably it's old, but I don't
there's
care.
the old game mode with the raid boss.
Yeah.
Disabled.
It's fine. It's okay. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, this is terrible hook, but yeah.
Because this is the new update they did at some point.
Yeah. Makes sense. But let's see this one as well. Oh my god. Yeah,
that's a nice hook.
That's a nice hook. Exactly.
Getting on the chicken costume.
Yeah, that's a very nice hook actually. Why don't you do this as well like now? It's great. Love it.
Because those things are all related to the new update. And I think that's just
okay. So it's like you only use in the credits what is exactly in the new update, and you don't use anything else. You're Supercell. You're supposed to be super creative and the best guys.
Game
ever.
design, not UA.
Okay. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Okay, now I will shut up now. Or maybe I won't.
Okay, so let's go.
Maybe I won't.
To game design stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
So this whole thing, as mentioned, started with November 2021, where the first build of the game kind of went into it. Between my history lesson, let me show you the old version, how it looks. And it was a completely different version than it is now regarding the meta progression. That's the main thing that's been happening. Because auto chess games have chronic problems regarding their progression span depth. There's not really the core gameplay.
Then just hold the mic closer to your face.
The core gameplay just doesn't offer that much vectors to spend because you cannot really do power progression, which they ironically tried so much, but with the current update they completely removed it, which just proves the point here. That's by the way why we're talking about this whole thing, because after those 2 years, the update they just did last week was so radical that it completely changed the progression of the game. Because in this first version that you're currently seeing on the screen, they actually had some kind of a light version of power progression. You could literally upgrade the heroes and they would be having increasing stats, so literally health and damage and attack speed, like you see here, they would be actually be getting stronger, which would break one of the main kind of auto chess rules, which is everything is even, which is not really common with Supercell games. They are mostly driven by power progressions. So that's there. They tried this. It was kind of hero focused because heroes were the ones that you would upgrade not during the gameplay but before the gameplay, and then during the gameplay you wouldn't upgrade the heroes. You couldn't even combine them. You would just upgrade the minis as in normal auto chess mode. But again, we would be seeing the usual Supercell formula where they would take something out of the market that works great, simplify it, make it more approachable, remove a lot of complexity, and probably this time remove too much complexity because the game became kind of shallow. And that's one of the main reasons why they did so many kind of iterations and changing the game so drastically, because it is a little bit different than the usual kind of Clash Royale, Clash of Clans, even Brawl Stars. This is a completely different setup here. So before they would have literally power progression, and the whole thing would work on this kind of setup of heroes would stay and you would retain your levels of heroes during seasonal resets, but the minis would reset and you would need to upgrade them again from scratch. and then they would have their abilities as you would upgrade during gameplay would change. So you would have to relearn using them because in different seasons they would have different abilities which would drive the the PvP metagame. This sounds great on paper. It seems it didn't really work out. Then one of their other major updates was the Gizmos update that you see within the creatives. They created these kind of static units like towers or punching whatever bags or something. What was it? I wasn't really playing the game in between these updates, so I'm just like scouring through the internet what was there. And
I'm very surprised anyone was playing the game in the between, to be honest.
Everybody was playing it at some point. Like you see the big spike, but then like everybody kind of forgotten about it. So they were still kind of going strong on it. So then they after that one they did this other giant revamp, which again completely reworked the game with these kind of 3 different currencies suddenly, because there wasn't really that big of an incentive to upgrade the heroes. Oops. And so they would pretty much introduce loads of other currencies in order to like drive the progression of upgrades. So heroes would literally have like special upgrade currency from level 1 to 5, then another different currency from level 6 to 10, and then another different currency. Yeah, literally like 3 different currencies to upgrade the heroes for each 5 levels.
Okay.
So
that's complicated.
Yeah, that's very complicated.
That's complicated.
So it was very complicated, and I understand the thing. Like they were trying to kind of drive the upgrades somewhere else, because you would just like pour your resources into one hero, you wouldn't have any resources for the other.
Yeah.
And you need to keep in mind that the progression is built completely different, and most of these updates that they're doing is mostly centered around the progression. They're not really touching core gameplay that much. It's like they're trying to solve the problems of progression not having enough spend depth, progression not being like engaging enough, not deep enough, and like people churning out too fast, I guess, not being able to spend much money, so on and so forth. So this is their main kind of iteration grudge with these things. The other thing is also that they even added like single player content, even raid bosses and clans.
Okay.
Seems,
but I didn't see that in this version
because it was removed.
Okay.
so like single player content and clan and raid bosses tells me that like they were trying to do something with their long-term metagame and retention, because they're having problems. Like that's usually the feature that you try to kind of like if you look back at what happened with Clash of Clans, once they added like social features on it, like it skyrockets the game. So, and it's the usual kind of duct tape solution that everybody tries to do when they're trying to prolong their metagame. Even we were trying it at Triplight at some point.
Yeah.
Introduce clans, introduce raid bosses, introduce single player content, so blah blah blah. So it seems that also didn't work out, which brings us to the current day, because everything was scrapped as it was there, and now it's not really power progression. It's literally in the update, which says goodbye stat level ups, unlock the hero, that's it. The stats won't change no matter how many times you refine the quality. But there's this
that's the thing I don't get, like all the refine of the
let's talk about the current update, because that's the most important one.
That's why we are here today.
That's why we're here. What do you think about the current update, and if it has any chance of like going forward? So how it works now, and this is like I've never seen any progressions like this before, so it's kind of very specific. So currently the progression of your
before you start, currently, like how the fuck are we able to get into
Master
1,000 trophies? I mean, I'm 273, which is quite a big change since yesterday, right? But at least I unlocked the event, and I kind of like I think I saw the whole game already.
Oh, probably. Well, some of the things you're still missing, like top level abilities. I'm still also missing those, but like it's more like a width rather than depth that you're missing. Like I think regarding the screen, like you've seen everything. It's just like I'll show like what things are pretty much missing, and we'll go over that. But yeah, I was just playing a lot in a way, but the early game seems like super easy. I was pretty much winning every single game. Like
Oh, I wasn't, but so obviously.
I just found like this one deck that I would kind of use all the time with.
And you did you have to Google
No,
it?
I didn't even have to Google it. This time I didn't even have to Google it because
No
they
way,
added
no
the clan
way.
system in this class system within this update. I was like, what? Like I was because I was playing Teamfight Tactics before, and this is how
Yeah.
auto chess works. And they removed it before because again they heavily simplified the game. Class system is the thing that makes synergies between units of the same race or class or whatever. Like two goblins give each other dodge chance or whatever. Some of those things.
I saw.
Which
I saw like
in Teamfight Tactics you have like 20 of these in like in your board during gameplay. You need to all know all of these.
yeah, it's like you have Archer is kind of
Yes,
doing
like
well
these
with
things
the
that I'm
barbarians and
currently showing. It's just like very intuitive, and it changes. And
is it very intuitive?
it is
Fuck me, I
because
didn't see that.
it literally tells you like whatever. For instance, here I have a healer, so I know that he has this like healing and shield bonus, and it literally highlights the units that I need to put in order to trigger the bonuses. So
Well, how did you even get here?
what do you mean?
Where did you click?
Like in the center, because you change your deck in the center. You never change your deck.
No, of course not. I have one deck. Oh well, I changed the deck. I'm like, I have one deck which I changed, obviously, but I don't see the those faces there at all.
Where? It's here. It's always there. Even during gameplay, I can show you. Like this.
I will show. Okay, I will share the screen and I will show you. I changed. No, of course I changed the deck. When I unlocked new heroes, which were not like common, but then I got some rares and then uncommon, obviously. So I changed that. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in the meantime, between you discover the main functionality of the game.
No, I saw the functionality. I didn't see like the connections.
The icons there. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, currently it's like I would say on wheels or on rails, scripted completely. Like you get all the units eventually. There's this very intuitive quest system that kind of walks you through quests with the units that you currently got, and kind of it's a little bit of a prolonged tutorial. There's also the battle pass thing that works here. That's like mini pass it's called now. There's the trophy road progression, which is kind of very easy, I would say, because you get like 20 trophies per win and you lose 3 per loss, which is just like you move. That's why I'm here. I'm moving very high. The other thing is that, as said, there's no power progression. So once you have a unit, you can unlock its cosmetics if you want. You can unlock its like emotes or whatever. Like they stop, they stop or pretty much remove the ability for people being able to spam emotes. Now the units spam the emotes themselves, so you can bad mana people anymore. And that's pretty much it. And this can increases your collection level, and the collection level actually increases your unit collection because it gives you units randomly, but it's kind of scripted anyway. So here, for instance, I'm at level 22. How do I get these whatever XP levels? Is by upgrading any single unit within. Like it's kind of similar to Warcraft Rumble actually, where they also have this collection level, and that's what creates this loop that every single unit is at the same level, because you always want to upgrade the lowest unit level because they're cheapest to upgrade. So that's there. Which you have this kind of universal shards, and then sometimes you get like unit specific shards in like special cases, but most of the times you're using these universal shards. I was never starved for soft currency. I have like 81k gold. I don't know what to do with it, literally. I don't know. Like I just don't have the shards, therefore like what should I do with it? Like I cannot buy anything with it in the shop. I just cannot upgrade anything because I don't have the shards for it, and that's it. So soft currency is kind of irrelevant in this thing. And then the important factor here, because now it sounds like, why do I even spend money on this game? Because it's like it gives me all of the units. It's just not power progress. Like why? Where?
Yeah.
So you have this little symbol here called SP special unit, which says unlock via shop or toy machine. And this is the whole monetization.
This is the whole thing.
Yeah. So in first common setup, there's none of these. Then in second, there's this Countess mini, which is pretty annoying if you get matched with it.
Yes, it's very
especially in the
annoying.
current this magic tile, which just like is
Yes.
broken as hell. Yeah, and then if we move forward in the rare category, there's Hog Rider. If we move even further, there's Decoy and Chompy. And if we move even further, there's Dark Prince and Sailor, I think, or the guy sitting on the seal. And then there's Battle Machine. So there's actually 7 units which are
That you can-
completely locked behind gachas. And there's many Gachapooools.
Yes,
Many Gachapooools.
Gachapooools.
So how it works here
Amazing.
is that they have this other currency called keys, and you get these
Yeah.
keys sporadically, not the epic, the gold ones or epic ones at all. I think you get
Yeah.
like 1 epic per month for free player.
Oof.
Somebody was counting like how much time it would take you to get like the battle. What was it? The battle? Battle machines unit, and
Battle
it took like 6 years or something. Or a free-to-play player, but anyway, so you have the
for you basically because you
yeah.
don't spend anything.
So for
Oh my
instance,
god, please keep this live for 6 years so he can get the machine.
So you have these kind of skin gachas, which are nice to have, but those are skins. By the way, if you have the skin for a unit that you don't have, it won't unlock it for you. So even
Yeah,
if
of course, like why would it?
yeah, exactly.
It's just the skin.
So you see this like little clothing thing. It's just the skin.
Yeah.
So there's this like ludicrously high skin gacha, which literally, if you count the value of this, like if I would, the chance to get the skin here is like 0.7%. So let's assume that we get it only after we get the guarantee, which is 140, which is literally, and I was counting it by buying the like best gem pack in the shop, which is $336.
That's not a
for
lot.
that one skin. For
I mean,
one
for skin, okay.
one
for
skin for 300 plus, and that's buying on discount.
Okay.
If you're not buying, it's like 500 per one skin.
Per one skin.
And
Okay.
the same thing goes within the units, because I think Battle Machine also had like 140 guarantee. I'm just not there, so you won't see it here. But
Yeah.
like I have it in my notes, and it's exactly that. So it's 140. So again, it's like one unit would cost like $350 to get.
Okay, I mean, is that a lot or is that like okay? I mean,
It's quite a lot.
Okay,
but the problem is that we lost the granularity. That I think is like the very big problem, because Supercell prides on the notion that their gachas had the best granularity, meaning that the Asian gachas, the usual, Honkais and like all of these other kind of big monster strikes and whatever, they would have this binary situation which is like all or nothing, which means that you either spend like a lot and you finally get it, and you don't get it at all, even then you spend it like whatever 1,000 euros on the gacha. With Supercell gacha, especially in Clash Royale, you would have increments of the units all the time, like shards of legendaries all the time, legendaries, epics, everything. Like you would just get small parts of it, and eventually you would upgrade it. So like it would be nice to feel like all the time getting legendaries and stuff like that. But here they're pretty much in this binary situation that you either shell out 300 or you don't have it. Or
yeah,
that's
it.
Binary situation, 0 to 1. That's it.
So let's get rid of the loot boxes in Brawl Stars, but let's put a gacha in here.
But actually, it's kind of stupid gacha, to be honest, because I'm sorry, but just there's 2 units in the whole gacha. That's it.
Yeah.
So you either get this or you get literally nothing. You get just soft
but
currency
it's also
and
like
shards.
Yeah, but it's also so it's 7 units in the gacha, right?
No,
so
each of those have their own. So
yeah.
So this is the thing. Like you would expect that the gachas would actually increase in pools or like whatever. This would be my special unit gacha, and then the Hog Rider, whatever. When I unlock another tier in my collection, like these would be added here. No, they don't. This is the special gacha just for these 2 units. There's another special gacha for Dark Prince and Sailor. There's another special gacha for a Battle Machine. And if you finish with the gacha, it locks out and disappears.
Why?
So I don't know. I don't know. So like the design's kind of very, very interesting. I never
interesting. Yeah,
like
let's
that.
call it interesting.
Because like it's literally like locking chess pieces behind paywall. Like you can have all the chess
yeah.
pieces, but just some you can't. And I've seen already like Reddit posts on people whining that like there's
Oh,
pro
yeah.
players using these like 4 or 5 out of whatever units decks that are all locked behind paywall and having like 30
Yeah.
win streak kind of counts with that. So yeah, it's not really that kind of, they know what they're doing, like
Of course they
need
know.
to make money, but I think this is kind of
Yeah, like
awkward.
it's still, again, we are coming back to the fact that the gaming is a business.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
still a business.
So
you need to make money.
but
And when your revenue is kind of decreasing over time, you need to make
yeah,
that
exactly. But I think it's kind of as they said, like this is pretty much their last ditch effort in order to kind of do something here, because on one hand it's great that the game is kind of completely kind of even if we omit the fact that some of the units are literally hidden by a giant paywall.
Yeah.
But then I don't know, like maybe they're trying to bank on the premise that whatever team fight tactics in China is again like completely no power progression, just vanity. And like yeah,
Okay.
correct me someone if I'm talking bullshit now, but I think it's like that there's like no power progression in that game, I hope, or maybe
You hope.
at least not in the Western one. So
Yeah, okay.
so in Chinese one maybe, but yeah, it could work in Chinese one, but not in Western one. So yeah, it works now completely different. There were also like few changes also within the gameplay. As I said, this is the part which actually is locked behind collection level, because if you go into hero units, they have these kind of skills at the end which are locked by your collection level. So I can only use this skill if I upgrade my collection fully. And if we go further, the further we go, the only with hero units, the higher it takes level. For instance, this is unlocked at level 48. And then I would imagine like if we would go here into
Yeah.
whatever, like of course like that would be
Well,
also
level 13, it's not as actually that bad.
What do you mean level 13? The collection
The
level required?
collection, yeah.
No, it was not level 13. It was a level 48.
I am level 13.
Yeah,
I
okay.
am. So it's not that bad actually.
Yeah. So then on top of it, they have this mechanic with piggy bank, which is just kind of like soft currency idle mechanic. That's kind of nice with their playing into these.
Yeah, it's
like
kind of nice, but doesn't
do
that
really
much.
anything. Like it's just upgrades this kind of peak mechanic, and then you have a chance.
Yeah,
to
so
get...
I was like, what is this all about? I have no idea. And then I clicked on that that icon. Like, oh, I can actually read everything. It's quite nice. Obviously, I didn't read.
This is just like an idle mechanic, and like
yeah,
it's like nice to have, but like yeah, it doesn't really do anything. Like the game's on the other hand like really enjoyable. Like
no, kind of like it.
If you go into the game, like it's really nice. It's very polished. The whole thing kind of feels amazing, to be honest. Like I was having a lot of fun when I was getting into that, like the progression that I got actually. I think it's very well optimized for mobile. Like I think they did everything they could regarding the whole kind of conversion of the complicated auto chess genre into like mobile first, approachable, kind of casual auto chess for the masses. So I think like they succeeded within that. The problem is that at some point, and especially later down, this kind of loses its charm, because the progression, there's no progression. There's just like okay, there's cosmetic stuff, but that's there. And then on the other hand, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like there's not much to do within the game. Like when you learn the meta, that's it. It maybe changes, like we see now with the Pink Fury problem, where pretty much one hero was single-handedly killing a whole team of 5 units. It got nerfed this week, thankfully. But other than that, like these synergies or like these gameplay mechanics that they have there, yeah, that's it. Like you learn them pretty fast. You kind of master the meta, and then you start whining because you don't have the paywall units which are controlling the higher level meta, which I think that's inevitable problem of every kind of player that moves into higher leagues, that like he won't be able to have Dark Prince or Battle Machine or Sailor or like any of these like $300 plus units, which then will be destroying his deck of a free-to-play player.
Yeah, but you also see the Devil's Deal on the map there, which is always like Marvel Snipe type of thing.
What do you mean?
It's changing all the time, like that the sign on the battlefield you have in the corner.
The tiles. Yeah.
Yeah, the tiles.
That's nice.
That's changing.
Yeah,
that's changing because it was different.
Yeah, it's changing every day.
Yeah.
So
okay.
it is changing every day.
Yeah, I know. Like I saw it like now.
Sometimes it spawns, sometimes it's not. Like it's like per day. Like this day, this tile can spawn, and then afterwards, like it changes another day. But it's not really like it's not a condition that every single game it needs to be there. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not.
Yeah, sometimes there is only one, sometimes there is two. But it's you need to learn like what it actually does.
Yeah, I'm completely, by the way, playing like an idiot here. Don't
welcome to my world.
Because talking and like doing strategic decision works great.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it doesn't go well together.
Yeah, but like the gameplay is like amazing. It's really good, really nice. The tempo of like the matches being very like the autoplay part being very very fast, and then
it's really quick.
Yeah, the decision part being kind of on an equal size. It's kind of very good pacing. So yeah, that I think they figured out very well. Like the translation of the whole core gameplay from the original 2019 PC version like works great. But the progression, unfortunately, it bite them back because that's how auto chess works. Like you can't really, like we've seen before. Like I've seen a game that was trying to put gacha into poker or chess. You just can't because that's how these games work. They don't have power progressions, and this I think is the same example here. So yes, you can do these things such as like lock units directly under these gachas, which are kind of cutthroaty. But yeah, let's see. Like currently, if I should kind of give this some kind of a prediction of what would happen, I would expect that they will wait for the holiday period to end and to see how this update works, because this was just recently changed. I think last week, was it?
It was last week.
Yes, it was last week. When you're listening this week, then it was like 2 weeks ago. And yeah, it's very very major. Like I read through Reddit extensively. There's literally players that are whining from left to right that they
I mean, there's the players are whining always, so it's nothing.
But they don't seems to be kind of very happy with the update overall. But like that's expected if their game was changed so radically. But on the other hand,
but that's why you are soft launching a game to make changes. They like they move the needle, right? So
yeah,
like, but this is it.
But for me, this kind of it's like because they let go of the idea that we can try and put power progression into this game. They like now completely now let it go. This sounds to me like the last ditch effort. That
that's what I wanted to ask. Like, okay, so is this like the final?
Like you win over us, we won't be trying our usual power progression, into the game. Do as you want. We'll release you into the KPI mixer and see if you work better with like just normal equal thing here with the cosmetic progression, but cosmetic with a big thing like hiding a locking unit behind gachas. So that's there. As I said, like I would expect this will still survive the holiday period, and then somewhere Q1 it's get either global launch or killed.
No, this won't get global launch, man. No way. Yeah. In this stage, like of the it's no.
For now, it seems more it's gonna get killed, or the China speculation.
Well, China speculation, or maybe it's gonna get another half of the year, because if you compare the builds between each other, like this is just the beginning.
But they literally said that this is their last big update.
Oh, but okay, last big update, and then they still can get a lot more content in here.
But
because like last big update, but like what can you do with these? Like you have 7 units or heroes or whatever like behind gacha. That's not a lot.
But you can still spend on skins in the meantime, like I'm not saying that like that's the power progression of the game. But
okay, but like what
you can
is
still
the, like,
spend
the
on
spend
skins,
depth?
and the skins will unlock the collection level, and the collection level will then unlock these kind of hero special.
Yeah, but is that enough? Is that enough?
Yeah, doesn't seem enough for me. Definitely, like.
That's where I'm trying to get, because now we see like 6K per day revenues, which can be delayed. Okay, so even if it's like 10 or 20, is that enough? Most probably no.
Yeah, like the progression is very light to me. Definitely, like it's as I said, like I will continue grinding. I will continue
Yeah, me
unlocking
too.
units, but then at some point, probably somewhere here in the Fable rarity, not
Yeah, you
even
will
in
get
the
fucked.
legendary,
You will get
you will
fucked.
just
Yeah.
get fucked by
Yeah.
OP decks, and that's it. And you
Yeah,
cannot do anything
yeah,
about it.
for sure.
And
Yeah.
try to balance units that you can't have. Like
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite hard. Okay, but honestly, I feel quite excited about this, and I enjoyed playing it as well.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm not a very big fan of auto chess, so
the game's like, as I said, like game's perfect, but unfortunately, because the environment we live in, perfect games don't cut the needle. Games that monetize great cut the needle.
yeah,
Doesn't
I
mean they need to
mean,
be good.
sure. I
From
mean,
like
if
gameplay player perspective.
yeah, but if your game is good, then the higher the chance that actually it will monetize as well.
Yeah.
That's also questionable, obviously.
Let's see.
But anyway, so should we get it like a chance rating score? Like, okay,
Yeah, my chance is
7 out of
70% this gets killed in Q1.
Ooh. Okay, I will get it like 50-50. It gets killed. I would say if this gets killed, it's gonna be at the end of next year. They will still try to
I don't think
try
so.
to put like
keep in mind it's 2 years soft launch for a Supercell game.
Yes. How long was the Brawl Stars in soft launch?
1.5 years, if I remember correctly.
But it's like
I think this is the longest, or not. Maybe not counting Everdell, because that was like stealth on.
Yeah, but still, like the fact that this is already in soft launch, not closed fucking beta or whatever nonsense.
For 2 years.
It's soft launch, so they actually put like a UA behind it, the creatives and all like more. And they're at you said
Money's
that they
not
have
a problem
ads
for them, man. It's like
it's not about money, but it's like but it's like giving this more chances. That's the thing. Like they need to see something in this which is exciting, which keeps them working on the game for 2 years. That's what I'm trying
because
to
I
say.
think early game is really amazing. That was
It's
amazing.
great, yeah.
But
yeah,
they have the problem of like duct taping any progression on top of that. That's the thing.
Okay.
Like kind of similar thing happened to us with Battle Legion, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
And it's like I was in this exact situation. Like every single early game metric looks amazing, and then you're banging your head against the wall. With like
it's like, oh, so your day 7 ROAS is 50%. It's like, yeah, but that to get to 100%, I need to wait 8 months.
Yeah,
so that's the problem. Okay, that's fair. Yeah,
we'll see. But yeah, like fingers crossed here. But again, like I won't make the reality as I think it is better.
Okay. All right then. See you next time. And as you might have heard, we are gonna go to Games Forum in February
and PGC in January.
But also, regarding the Games Forum, we already heard like a nice little plug from the guys, because we partnered up with them. So definitely, if you want to see us there, and if you want to see and hear quite good content, definitely go there. And it's gonna be a live session, so you should definitely enjoy that. But anyway, like it's now 3 tracks. Mr. Jakub is now kind of very much involved in the product side of things. I'm gonna be on the UA side, and Felix on the ad monetization side. And it's quite a good conference, honestly. So see you there. And in the meantime, please subscribe. Go and watch our live session, which we did with Game Drive. It's sitting on the YouTube, and I'm going to release it sometime next week or maybe the week after on Spotify as well. And we have decided to actually do live sessions every month. So stay tuned. Join our Slack to know more. There you go.
Yeah.
Cheers.
See you there. Happy holidays.
Thank you. Bye.